Hello everyone and welcome to Work in the Verse. My name is Thor and I'm going to be wrapping up our MetaConnect 2022 series by sharing some of my thoughts on John Carmack's 2022 Unscripted event. Watch until the end and you'll see my 6 degrees of separation with John. Before I break it down, let me give you a little insight into John Carmack in case you haven't heard of his name before. He's the co-founder of id Software and was the lead programmer for titles such as Commander Keen, Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, and Quake. Let's break it down. Number 1. Delivering his session in virtual reality. John had big ambitions in 2021, and that's where he said he would be disappointed this year if he couldn't meet and interact with attendees in virtual reality. It wasn't quite what he wanted it to be, but he saw several positives in the experience. He even said he got a chance to hang out with some people during the event.
Did you hear Carmack's walking around?
Oh, is he?
Number 2, quality versus quantity of avatars. There's a lot of talk right now about the quality of avatars. It really picked up steam with the avatar Mark Zuckerberg showed earlier in 2022. Both media and social media had a field day with this. But before you jump on the bandwagon, John does a great job of pulling back the curtain to see that there is a trade-off between quality and quantity of avatars in the same space. The more graphically impressive an avatar is, the less we'll be able to have in the same space or less fidelity during interactions. Our brains are interesting in that when we interact with things that look like people, we tend to readily accept the reality that is presented. Just like in real life, when presented with something different is when we tend to notice. For example, AltSpace VR, which is now a Microsoft offering, still today has no arms or legs. That's right, a head, a torso, and hands. When you see one avatar like this, you quickly take notice that it isn't a complete picture. When you're in the environment, whether it be a headset or a computer, and see more than one of these avatars together, you see that they all have the same traits. We make a mental note and move on. Let's move on to Meta's avatars. The only thing that seems to be missing are legs. Same thing. When you're actively participating, it doesn't break the immersion when you see others in the same way. My hunch is once everyone has legs, we won't hear much of it unless the legs break. Don't function the way we expect them to. I think it'll be more interesting to see how people react to those who have more control over their facial expressions. Will it be positive in the sense of, oh hey, you have a Quest Pro, or oh, they're a show-off, they have a Quest Pro? Number 3, Horizon Home versus Horizon Worlds. John talked a lot about the differences of these two similar but different experiences on Quest. Horizon Home is where you first start when you turn on your Quest headset, and this is a starting place to continue on in VR. This line is blurring though because you can now invite your friends who own a Quest headset to your virtual home, where you can experience forms of entertainment together, whether that be a movie, or a game, or just hanging out. You can think of Horizon Worlds as a place to go for entertainment that is created by others, whether it be individuals or even companies. Rick and I have done some things in Worlds and Homes now, so you'll want to tune into our upcoming videos. Lots of things we found out and how being from different countries can lead to vastly different experiences, even though we were in the same place virtually. The line between Horizon Home and Worlds has gotten fuzzier because people can meet now in both, but there are distinct differences. Horizon Homes looks better because it uses raw geometry, pre-lit textures, and is built by professional modelers with optimized tools. Horizon Worlds looks a lot different because the emphasis is optimized for user-generated content and dynamic abilities such as interactions. What's most important is the experience for the user and how long it takes to arrive at a destination. It's slow, and John is fully aware of this. He would like to see the experience go from a minute or so to a few seconds at most, and he knows that we're not there yet. We'll definitely dive more into this in our Home and World series. Number 4, John's thoughts on the Quest Pro. I could tell John definitely appreciates the Quest Pro and what it brings to the virtual reality experience. I don't think he's sold on it completely though, and is a strong believer in the necessity to create cost-effective mass-market headsets to getting people into virtual reality. He also let on that the biggest challenge is heat dissipation. Unfortunately, due to the nature of the chip, you can't simply add a bigger heatsink. Just like with so many things, all situations are not created equal. Beyond the Quest Pro, John threw out a tiny nugget that the Qualcomm partnership is going to lead to specific VR uses that go beyond the normal CPU and GPU advances. This will be a high-end chip, so it's going to be expensive. My guess is that this will be another headset in the Quest Pro line that Mark and Angela referenced throughout the MetaConnect event. Be sure to check out the rest of our MetaConnect 2022 series to see the additional insights we had into the event. John also highlighted on design characteristics that he thought were improvements over the Quest 2, including the pancake lenses, designed for comfort, and how the rendering of what you see feels crisper than the Quest 2. The good thing is, John still feels there's an upside to today's Quest 2 and that developers still have plenty of room to refine the experience. Number 5, John's wins and negatives. To wrap up the session, John listed out 15 wins and 10 negatives that happened since the last MetaConnect event. Interestingly enough, not all of the key wins made significant changes that you might think. Meta's Facebook account requirement was dropped, but it didn't result in any significant changes to how many new people got a Quest 2 headset. Other wins that I have personally noticed included better video capture inside the Quest 2 and hand tracking. Speaking of hand tracking, he mentioned that they know 30% of users use the Quest 2 in less than optimal lighting. The solution? Turn on more lights. But wait, we might have something else, but you're going to have to wait for that upcoming video. On to the negatives. This is where you see how much John tries to influence the Meta developers from how basic usability needs to be improved so there's less wait for the device to be updated, to how main applications such as Horizon Worlds needs to improve on wait times. I could tell he was fully invested in the experience from the ground up. John is not someone just selling a product, but it's one he wants to use. Thank you for watching to the end of the video, and now my big reveal for my 6 degrees of separation from John. Back in the day, I used to do technical support for the video game Doom. It was an amazing experience, and oh, the stories I have. But alas, I never got a chance to meet John. But hey, maybe if you were one of those people who called in to get a secret code to play the game, you might have heard my sales spiel. It was for the official Doom Survivor Strategies and Secrets Guide. And I can tell you this, I probably sold more books than anybody else in the whole company. I hope you enjoyed our MetaConnect 2022 series, and we look forward to hearing your comments. If you haven't done so already, subscribe, like, and hit the bell for future notifications of our upcoming videos. Take care.